Alright guys, welcome to the channel, and today we're going to talk about how to get sponsored without a following. A lot of people out there think that you need this huge following to get sponsored. Not true. And the reason how I know this is I had no following. I had no Instagram, no YouTube, no nothing. It came after I started building the truck. And the reason why I did this is because I'm a kind of a sales type person, okay? That would be the only thing that would hurt you if you're going to try to get a sponsorship, okay? That, or if what you're trying to sell is not a really cool idea. Don't get discouraged. Try to just make it better. That being said, at this current time, I only have Instagram has 1164, and I just checked my YouTube. It's only 14 subscribers. So, what did I do to get 29 sponsors? Well, first thing I did was I wrote a proposal. I made a cover sheet with my company logo because this truck is part of my company. All right. And then I wrote a little bio about myself. Little, very little. No novels, people. All right. Then I went and I told them about the build and my goals for the build. Then the next thing I did in the next bullet, right, is I wrote, this is not going to be like depth and detail how to write a proposal. I'm the worst person to ask for that. Then the next thing, it took me about a month to write my proposal. The next thing I did was I wrote a section on what kind of media am I going to do for the truck and them. In my original proposal, I never even talked about YouTube or Instagram. My sponsors asked me to do it, which is my fear. I'm not a big fan of this thing right here. Not YouTube, not you, the camera. So, now I'm trying to get into photography. Go figure. So I told them what I'm going to do. Next thing in there is events. What events am I going to go to? What type of events? You know, all that stuff. I wrote it in there. All right. SEMA wasn't even the thing for my truck. I thought SEMA was more of a showy type thing. My truck is going to get used and abused, just like all my other ones. And then the next thing I did was I put a list of all the parts. I put in there pictures of what the truck is going to look like, what my goal is for it. I also put pictures in there of what it looks like currently. All right. And older pictures of what it looked like bone stock. From there, I also put in who is already on board with the build. And the reason why I do this is every time I get a new sponsor, I'll resend it out to, if I feel like the sponsors need it, I'll resend it to them. All right. And then new sponsors that see it, they're gonna be like, oh my God, look at this. This company's on here, this company, what is he doing that he's got that many companies? Some companies will verify your sponsorships, by the way. I wrote them in there. All right. Why? Because it's a sales thing. You drive past your local car dealership. You see a car out there that you like, but you're like, I'm not too sure. All right. Look at car dealerships. They move cars around to make it look like they're selling cars. All right. When you drive by and you see the same car dealership all the time, you would ignore if it looks the same. All right. But if you notice, like, oh my God, all those sedans are gone. Now they moved the trucks forward. All right. No, somewhere in the lot, they put the sedans and took the trucks out of that spot and put them in their spot. But it gives you the illusion that they're moving cars. And what's going to happen is it's going to make you, okay, they must be having a sale. They must be doing something. Let's go in there and check out, see what they got going on. Maybe I can get myself a new ride. All right. Same effect. All right. When I wrote that proposal, I did that so they think, oh my God, all these companies are involved. Let's get involved as well. All right. It happens. And then once you get all that typed up and you think it's real good, make it close it up into a nice little PDF file, and you're going to attach it to an email. And then in this email, you're going to talk to them as in why. Now, you could also put this in your proposal. I just do it in the email, or I'll type it. It all depends on where it's going. But a lot of times, I'm going to put it in the email because I got to get them to click that button, open that attachment. So if I put it in the document, who's going to say that they're going to want to read it? They're just going to say, oh, it's another sponsorship. All right. So I put it in the email. Okay. And I'm going to talk to them and be like, why I want them a part of the build. Why is their product so important to the build? What my thoughts are of the product. You're going to try to get all these good things. You want to get their heads blown up so big that they're like, this is our man or girl or woman, whatever in today's world, whatever you got going on. So I want them to be mind blown by what I'm going to be a part of my build. So I'm going to do all that in an email, hit send. Now I'm going to wait. Okay. From there, it's a waiting game. And why is it a waiting game? Well, a couple things are going to be either with you or against you. Okay. When did you send your proposal? All right. This is crucial, and this is something you guys should know. You want to raise your chances of getting sponsored. Well, today is January 6, 2021. Now is the time to send proposals because every company out there is going through budgeting. They're going through doing their taxes. They're getting ready to do this. So everything financial is usually done in the beginning of the year. How much are they going to spend on marketing? How much are they going to spend on this? How much are they going to spend on this? Anybody watching this video that's a business person is going to tell you probably most likely the same thing. The only way you're probably going to get a sponsorship outside of the time frame when they're doing their budgeting is they have a new product that they want to try out. All right. That's also going to help you get sponsors. Because in like my case, nobody really makes anything for a brand new F-250 for overlanding. All right. So I reached out to companies. Hey, I got this. No, we're not going to go there. Okay. Hey, no, we're not going to go there. There was a lot of that. All right. But one thing you should know is the bigger companies are going to dabble in something new. All right. Up Top Overland. They did this. They did that. They're like, when I was there getting test fitted for their racks, I was their first 2020 F-250 rack. They straight up told me they're only going to build racks for popular vehicles or what they think will be a popular vehicle. You want a rack for a Honda Pilot? Probably not going to happen. All right. Just certain things. Like we were joking around when I was there. I was like, I'm going to buy a Subaru Outback. No, not an Outback. What was that thing called? Baja. And I was like, I want you guys to build me a bed rack for it. They laughed. It was a joke, but I was also kind of serious. But that's where this conversation started. They're only going to build things that are going to be popular or what is actually going to be a vehicle that can help them keep the production line going for those racks. Okay. They might dabble in a one-off here and there. All right. Same with Expedition 1. When they built my bumpers, they took on the F-250 because, and I spent a lot of time with the owner of Expedition 1, and he said the same, basically almost the same thing as Up Top did, and is the Ford is a new upcoming vehicle that's going to really good chance dominate in the overland world in full-size rigs because of some of the things it comes with. This isn't a video about the trucks. We're not going to go there. All right. So they're going to dabble in it. Okay. If you look at their websites, I don't think they built bumpers for Fords in between because they maybe didn't have a good kickoff. I do know there's somebody else running their bumper at the same time. I can't remember it's a YouTuber. He went with just like the little bull bar or whatever. I went with the full, or no, he went with a brush guard. I don't know what he went with. I went with the full system. He went with the shorter system. So it gives him the taste of both worlds. I do think though they had to fab up his bumpers a little bit to fit his truck, as his truck is extreme. I'll have to go look up his YouTube channel. I'll comment below so you guys can go shoot him a follow. It's a pretty sick build. I love it. It's a wide body F-250 overland rig. But anyways, so you can get lucky on the same thing. If you have a vehicle that you know is going to become popular, or you think it will become popular, reach out to companies. That's your chance. All right. So keep that in mind. A little sidetrack there. All right, back to there. So the companies are going to be doing their budgeting in the beginning of the year. Some of them will do it towards the end of next year for budget of next year. Each company is different. You want your stuff there while they're talking about budgeting. All right. You still send it in. Don't like if it's July, still send it in. You might have a crazy idea that the company's like, you know what? The owner is going to get it and he's going to be like, that's crazy. Let's do it. For instance, the hood on my truck. It's from Tuscany Motor Company. They build trucks strictly for, I want to say, Ford, Chevy, I think in Chevy. They build all their product. All right. When they build their trucks, though, or I think they just do trucks, they basically take their product, it goes on the vehicle, and it's matched to the VIN number. I saw their hood, and I'm like, I wanted the hood. I kept trying to figure out where you could buy the hood, you know, so on and so forth. I did research, found out this company made it, because they're not out there advertising to the public. They're out there advertising to dealerships. So they're not going to be a public business that you could just, oh, these guys. No, it doesn't work that way. I did a lot of research, and I finally figured out where the hood came from. I reached out to them. I sent them my proposal. Then I called them a couple weeks later, just to verify if they got it. I talked to a gentleman, really nice guy, but he, in a really harsh way, turned around and told me that the hoods are not for sale. They're not for the public. And I was like, okay, and I completely understand that. It makes, and why they do that, it makes their vehicles worth more, because they have things that nobody else can get. Well, apparently my proposal in my email was so intense that the owner turned around and approved to send me a hood. I was like a little kid in the candy store. Really nice guy. So he sent me a hood for free. So I'm the only person out there with a Lariat with this hood. And I get asked all the time, where can I buy the hood? You can't. So if you want to ever comment to me or send me an email about the hood, this video, it already nipped it in the butt for you. So you want to get your proposal as soon as you can in the beginning of the year. All right, unless you know a company's going to be coming out with new prototypes and stuff like that, different story. Jump on the bandwagon, get your stuff to them. Another thing you should do is keep your proposal updated. I can't stress enough about that, because you never know when you might need to send something in. Last thing you want to do is sit here and try to type something. Keep it updated. All right. Excuse me. So I hope this kind of was it's kind of a short, easy video. Hope you understand where I'm trying to come from. I'm trying to help people get to their dreams. A lot of people want these really cool things. Actually, stop. I get asked this question a lot, and I want to kind of nip it in the butt. Do you need a brand new vehicle to get sponsored? It helps. The only way a lot of companies will jump on something that's old is if it's some like crazy build, like really crazy. Or they specialize in older vehicles. A lot of the companies out there are going to be looking for newer vehicles. Why are they going to give you product for something they already have thousands of them already out on the market? So that would be a stipulation for people to, needs to understand. If you have like, I'm just going to throw this out there, '96 Jeep TJ 2-door Sport, all right, and you want to build it, you're most likely not going to get sponsored. Probably all the way, you probably wouldn't even get looked at unless you drove a JL. JKs, if you go really crazy, like rear steering, 42-inch tires, rock crawling machine, different story. But they're going to expect you to go off-road and beat the daylights and film the daylights out of it. So I'm using that. Now cars are different, you know. You might get sponsors on older cars because, well, like hot rods and stuff. So you can try. It never hurts to ask. All right. If they say no, it's no. All right. If they say yes, well, you're doing good. So the next thing you want to make sure is make sure you're ready to start the build. This is where people get into trouble. And I want to put this in here. It's not part of the video, but I want to put this in here real quick. A lot of people, actually I'll do two things in here. A lot of people will go expecting to get free stuff and thinking sponsorship's all about being free. I have way more money than people think I actually do in this vehicle. Okay. And it's because a lot of my sponsors are partial sponsors, and that's the part we're going to touch base here in a second. All right. So if a company comes in and says, hey, we want to sponsor you, but we're going to give you 50% off our product. All right. You could tell them like, okay, cool. I'm I got to work around budget and stuff, and you make the numbers happen. What happens to some people, and it's in contracts and stuff, because these companies will send you contracts. If you don't do what you're told, if you don't follow your part of the deal, all right, that company's going to turn around and charge you for the product. Okay. So make sure you're ready. If you have to, I always tell people, like when I approached every sponsor, I made sure I at least had the money to pay for the product if they said, okay, but this offer only lasts for this time frame. All right. And I was prepared to pay for full price. All right. So keep that in mind. You want to make sure you have, because you reach out to a couple sponsors, they say yes, you get them for full sponsorship, then your key component to make your build, be able to do what it needs to do, and you're not set financially. If they turn around and say we're going to give it to you for 50% off, but that 50% off is still like $5 or $6 grand, all right, you don't have the money to pay for that, and you have to tell them no. You might reach out to some other companies to see if they can get you the product, and if they turn around and say no, and now you don't have the money to either buy the product, but now these other companies over here, you see the downhill that's going to occur. So make sure you're set. It's still time consuming. And the other thing sponsors will do, and you gotta be ready for this. A lot of my product was sent to me and was told in their directions that it had to be professionally installed, right? Because they don't want it to look half-ass. Excuse my language. All right. So things that I easily can do because I've built many Jeeps, I turned around and I had to go to shops to get them installed. All right. Now some of it was test fitting, Expedition up top. There's some other products coming soon. Can't wait for those. Actually, they actually might be coming because of me. I'm the one that's going to be designing them. I'll have couple other one-off things on my truck, because I don't think anybody's ever going to buy the one thing we're building. Not by the looks of what's going to happen. So make sure you're ready financially for it. Okay. You also got to make sure you're financially ready to go do events, or you're able to get away for events. They don't want to hear excuses. You made a deal with them. You got to follow through. So when you're trying to chase down sponsors, Make sure you do what you say you're going to do. Make sure you got your sales game on, because it's basically all it is. And make sure when you write your proposal, it's in depth and detail. And also read the contracts that they send you. I don't know if I didn't do it. I run 3 companies, so any contract that comes in front of me, I read it, and then I take it to an attorney to read, to make sure I didn't miss anything. So make sure you read it. You don't have to go get an attorney to read it. Just make sure you read it. Make sure you follow the guidelines they give you. Like Viers is very strict on what you're supposed to do. That's one of my sponsors. I have to do at least 1 post X amount of time. And then real quick, I want to put this out. Oh no, let's talk about the types of sponsors. So there's full sponsorship, which I mentioned, and then there's partials. Well, it's basically self-explanatory. Full sponsorship, you're getting product for free. Okay. Partials are you're going to have to pay a big discount. Those partial discounts can be up to 32. The biggest one I've gotten was 75% off. All right. So keep that in mind when you guys go about it. You know, I didn't wheel and deal. I probably could have. I didn't hustle them. I didn't, go bargaining. I took what I got. All right. You may be able to, talk to them. Once you break that threshold and they're interested in your vehicle, they see something that they want to be involved with. All right. You see something you want. You can come to a middle ground, but don't burn your bridge, because you can do that easily. And I've done it in car sales. There was when I buy cars, I never show them I really want the vehicle, and there's a couple times it's like I want to leave with that vehicle. For instance, the truck that I'm building. I went into a Ford dealership. I'm not gonna say which one it is, and I told him I wanted that truck. I told him what I was doing. The guy told me he was a really cool dude, and I didn't see the truck right off the door. I was actually trying to go down to like a F-150 or something. I just wanted to downsize for some reason. And then this truck was parked around the corner in the showroom, and I saw it, and I'm like, I want that truck. And the guy turned around and told me I could not afford this truck, which it's a Lariat, fully loaded. Like, it's basically like a Platinum or a King Ranch that's without the fancy stitching. Fully loaded Lariat. And he told me I couldn't afford it. I was like, oh, okay. Quickly burnt that bridge. I walked straight out the door. And I wanted the color, I wanted the package, everything. I tore up the whole, basically, DFW area looking for another truck like this. Went to another dealership, kind of had a bad experience there, but the sales manager actually reached out to me, or was it general manager, sales manager? I think it was sales manager. And then it was just a new salesperson. That wasn't a bad thing. It was just kind of an experience thing. The trucks he was showing wasn't what I was asking for. So, nervous new salesperson, basically. He was just jacking up a little bit. But anyways, so they didn't have anything really I liked. So I left, and then the sales manager reached out to me. He's like, hey, let's sit down, let's find what you want, and then we can get it here by dealer trade. And I told him exactly what I wanted. And I told him where you can exactly find it if you can pull it from this other dealership. So on my way into the dealership, as I was driving in, they were getting deliveries, and boom, that truck was sitting right there. I'm like, is that the one from totally different truck? It was actually even more fully loaded than the other one. So I think this was the top of the top for a Lariat that you can get. I was like, I want it. Let's get it done. So and that's what happened. I drove off the lot. Anyways, so you can burn a deal by just saying wrong things. All right, so watch what you say in your emails in your communication with them. Well, guys, I think that's about it. I need to get ready to get out the door for the gym. I hope this has been an educational video. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Best place is Instagram. Go ahead and follow me, because I think it gives me a notification if you send me a message after you follow me. But if you don't follow me, and if I'm not following you, type of deal, I don't know how all that Instagram stuff works. I'm kind of new at this whole media game deal. So, but hit me up on there. I do see I get requests. It does tell me when I'm in my messages. But if you, I think, follow me, it actually gives me a notification like those. So I know when somebody's trying to reach out to me. That would be the best way for communication. If you have questions about sponsorships, if you want to know how to word some things and stuff like that, I can help you as much as I can. Because I don't know exactly what you're going to be trying to build. But alright guys, you all have a good one, and I will see you soon, and enjoy the 2021 life that we're about to, or journey that we're about to endeavor. See you later.